lips of the one who could sing so sweet. And I would fly on the wings of a bird I knew could take me high as breathe in, breathe out. You keep me alive. You are the fire burning inside of me. You are my passion for life.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Passion Supernatural Podcast, the podcast where we discuss what we consider to be the best soap opera ever, Passions. A soap so wild, so outrageous, that it deserves another podcast. I'm sure there are quite a few out there. How you doing? I'm Joe Velasquez, and with me
And I'm
today is
Casey Metcalf.
my lovely host Casey Metcalf. I almost called you Jesse there. How you doing there, sweetie?
I'm doing good.
That's great. That's great. Glad you're back. And welcome to our fourth week of Passion Supernatural Podcast. Now, just like the past 3 Sundays, we are going to be discussing the soap opera Passions. There's a lot to talk about. Magic, living dolls, giant pussycats, witches, demons, you name it. Lots of crazy stuff. The list goes on. Now, for all of you who wish to tune in, just go on YouTube, look up Passion Supernatural Podcast every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. There will be new episodes. And the good part about this is, unlike when Passions moved exclusively to DirecTV, their difference is we are free. We're free, Casey. We're free. You don't have to buy YouTube to view our show. Just like and subscribe. So easy.
Yep.
So very, very, very easy. You don't need to purchase DirecTV or anything like that to view with us. It's entirely free. You got YouTube, you got us. So here we are once again, another podcast, Casey. So out of things that we've out of all the things that we've been discussing and everything, things that have been going on, we've still been watching. You and I have still been watching, and we've come upon some things, haven't we?
Yeah, some crazy things.
Yep, and it's only going to get crazier too, because we still have a long way to keep watching in the final season that we've been watching. Like I said, I'm not going to give any spoilers to you because I want you to be surprised with the things that are coming up or whatnot. But it's we've come so pretty far so far. I mean, once again, we are still realizing that where we are right now. It's like, I mean, think about it. We're realizing Teresa, Gwen, and Rebecca are still not getting along after all these years. You think these 3 women would have formed and, hey, we're okay, nothing to worry about. Nope, these 3
I mean, Gwen can just forgive Teresa and move on with her life, but she can't do that.
And Rebecca's even crazier because, I mean, it's Gwen's flipping mother and everything, and she's helping her own daughter do very, very, very terrible things to this young woman, who just, I mean, Gwen obviously needs a hobby. She just can't move on from a guy. She's just gonna just keep fighting and everything, It's wacko. They're just never gonna get along, it seems like. I mean, who knows? Maybe if the show gets picked, it gets a comeback or something, maybe they'll find some sort of a way to make them get along. But
Yeah.
who knows? It's just but no, I mean, we're still watching. They're still not getting along. I mean, at least Teresa's out of jail. Thank God for that. I couldn't stand that. And
Because of Ethan.
Yep.
If it wasn't for him, she'd be still in there.
Oh, I just so love how Ethan, for once, after all this time, finally stood up to Gwen. I mean, he finally, he's always trying to just be nicey and everything, if you know what I mean. He's like Eric Martsolf had said, he was always vanilla ice cream. Well, for once, he basically has to blackmail Gwen to get her to back the hell off. If Gwen sends Teresa back to jail, then he will hire on as Teresa's attorney, and he will take it to court, and he will win. And Gwen needs Ethan there right now for their child right now.
Jonathan.
Jonathan, yeah. So she can't be taking, him uh making appeals and stuff right now. She needs him, so he can do a good blackmail. Okay, Brady Black on days he blackmailed a judge, which I think is a lot worse than what Ethan did with Gwen. But I mean, finally, Ethan finally stood up to Gwen. I love that. Yep. And like, we discovered, like, apparently these last few episodes that we've watched, it seems like you could just totally tell that the writers of this show who wrote for Passions, you can just tell that they are having a lot of fun and everything, because they are just coming up with some of the most craziest, campiest
Storylines.
ideas. Yeah, they are coming up with things that you could never see on any other soap opera.
Nope.
Here I always thought soap operas were just for adults, and it was just they're all the same, not Passions. Not
Nope.
Passions. With the writing that they're doing for that, come on, think about it. Having Tabitha using magic, to send characters flipping from here to here to there, up and down, and then turning them into what, turkeys or whatever and stuff like that. And uh
And them kissing, making out.
yeah, that's another thing too. That's something else that we've come upon, is that with these last number of episodes, we've come to see, that Tabitha's magic trying to put um Fancy and Noah making out again
Back
or
together,
whatever, and
yeah.
preparing to do what and everything. And
Kay trying
also,
to stop it.
yep, Kay's trying to stop it, and
Guess
she's still
that's
she's
her
still
brother.
mm-hmm. And even trying to put Sheridan and Luis making out. I'm sure a lot of fans love that. I think Casey, you could probably agree with me. They probably just did that whole magic thing for the fans, for all of those that love Noah and Fancy and Sheridan and Luis. They're gonna love to see them making out and stuff like that. So I really feel like they just did that for the fans and everything, and like I said, putting Fancy into freaking lingerie and everything. All of this with just magic, of all things, on a soap opera. Ugh. What what could be better? What could be better? What could be crazier? Um, and like we mentioned earlier, apparently Jonathan is experiencing an illness right now that he's really taking something of a turn for the worse, unless unless Teresa can help some way. I
If
mean,
she would let Jane um
mhm,
give Jonathan, who lived for
right.
kidney, was it kidney?
That's right. Kidney.
Kidney
Yep. Unless like that and everything. Yeah. I hope they do something. They gotta help Jonathan somehow.
for
I
a
mean,
little boy.
and I mean, Gwen's being ridiculous about it. She wants her son to live, but she's willing to let him die just to get Ethan. What a monster, I tell you. Um, I mean, the magic bowl has taken a lot more effect recently and everything. They've been using that a lot more. They kind of stopped using the bowl for a time and everything, but now it seems like Kay and Tabitha are actually using it quite a bit. Even Noah is suspicious because he's heard about this magic bowl and everything, and even he's started to get a little bit suspicious. Like, is that the magic bowl? No, no, it's just a normal thing.
Kay sticks her head down with a towel on top of her head, and
Oh
Noah's
yeah.
like, okay, what are you doing underneath there?
Yep. Okay. All right. If you say so.
Mm,
Just think about what it's gonna be like if everybody in Harmony finds out about this magic stuff at all, if it's revealed to be true, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, we've been blinded all these years. This is
mm,
nuts." Yeah. Um, and we still haven't found out who exactly has murdered all of Esme's boyfriends. We still haven't found that out yet and everything. I mean, amazingly, they haven't even attacked Julian because now Esme has been having it crazily with Julian. Oh my God. I mean, with their, it's like, even Fancy thinks that they're nuts. I mean, walking in on her own dad making out with her best friend and everything. That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but amazingly, Julian hasn't been attacked yet. I'm surprised. Um, and and stuff like that. So we still don't know. I mean, oh, and also, what else have we forgotten to mention that we've discovered on recent episodes and everything? Well, Eve finally sees now that Vincent is alive.
Yep.
She's not delusional. It's not a dream. He really did survive the fall, which I'm like wondering how in the world did he survive that? I mean, all we saw of him prior to its move to DirecTV, all we saw was him climbing up the cliff. Like, how? He just fell. What, the dude can fly now?
Mm.
And so, I don't know. But he is alive. Good riddance, because he is my favorite villain. Vincent was my favorite villain. And he um and like I said, Eve realizes it's not a dream, but she also realizes that Vincent,
It's Valerie.
yes, he is split personalities. Yep,
Mm.
and to take it even further, Vincent slash Valerie is pregnant. And well, who could the father be? Hmm. Uh, well,
Julian.
yeah. I mean, I think there was only one other person that they slept with. They mentioned it. I can't remember who it was though. I can't remember who they said
Mm.
it was. It was they said that it could either be Julian or somebody else. I can't remember. I think in the end, yeah, they revealed Julian. So that's one big crazy tie up, if you know what I mean. It's if you think about it. I mean, Vincent is Julian's son, but now he's basically pregnant with Julian's son or daughter. So I mean, isn't that a little messed up?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, the writers were having a lot of fun just thinking, what if we did this? I mean, other soap operas that I've seen, like Days and General Hospital and Young and the Restless, they're always, I mean, yeah, they can get a little silly sometimes, absolutely, but they mostly focus on the real serious, realistic stuff. Passions, they didn't hold back. Passions really just went crazy with their ideas, I tell you. What could possibly happen next? I mean, what are they gonna uh what are they gonna send the characters all back in time to the beginning of the show and we have to rewatch it from the beginning all because of magic?
And make up another storyline.
Have an alternate storyline. I don't know. Maybe this time, if they did something like that, if they actually had Tabitha, I mean, if they came up with this idea to have Tabitha use magic to send everybody back in time to the very first episode, this way Eric Martzoff would have to play Ethan from the beginning or whatever. He would have to do it from the beginning, and and heck, that would be the way for Tabitha to get Endora and Miguel back quicker.
Mm.
Oh yeah, and Tabitha's been doing a lot more evil, really believing that it's gonna get Endora back. Kay hasn't really done anything to try and get Miguel back. I don't know what she's thinking. All she's trying to do is stop Tabitha. I don't know what she's thinking. I mean, her fiance is in hell right now, probably burning and scared to death or whatever. She's just trying to stop Tabitha from doing evil. Shouldn't she be thinking of an alternative? Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And the list just goes on and on and on. And according to and from what I've seen, as I've told Casey here and everything, people from what I've seen and everything, come the next episode that we get to, Pretty should be making some more appearances and stuff like that. So we'll get to see what she is up to and everything. Because it's been a good number of episodes. We really haven't seen very much of Pretty, even though she's still in the show. And it's not like she ever left or anything. They just haven't really given her much screen time. It seems like
No,
we've mostly just been it seems like we've mostly have just been focusing mostly on Teresa, Ethan, Gwen, Rebecca, Noah, Paloma, Kate,
Luis.
Tabitha, Louise, Sheridan, Fancy, Esme, I think I said Julian and Eve, um, and Vincent and Valerie. Um, but it seems like Pretty and Alistair really haven't gotten very much. They haven't really gotten very much screen time. So, and Alistair is still there. He just hasn't really appeared that much. So
I wish I will get Whitney back.
yeah, Whitney left
Whitney.
Harmony. Yeah, Whitney left Harmony. Yeah,
I like Whitney.
yeah, I hate to tell you, she doesn't come back. She doesn't come back, unfortunately. Um, there are some characters that are from the past that make brief returns. I'm not going to tell you who, but unfortunately, Whitney is not one of them. But there are some characters that make some brief returns that you'll be happy to see. I'm not going to tell you who to surprise you, but when they come back, you'll be like, oh my God. And there's even some characters that are actually who are not on the show anymore who are actually referenced. After all these years of having been away, they will be referenced again, and we'll get to know what they have been up to and what's going on. Oh, and also we've also seen quite a bit of Spike too. I forgot about that. We've also seen a bit of him. So
Like,
yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah. So like I said, yeah, Pretty and Alistair have been the two that have gotten the least screen time as of right now. They've just been so focused on this other stuff and everything. So now they're gonna be making a comeback, it looks like, in the next episode, according to the thumbnail that I see on YouTube. Pretty's on there, so we'll have to see what is her big move to try and hurt Fancy next.
hmm,
Yeah, you're gonna really see she gets some really really big stuff in this season for the final season. Um I mean, I'm not gonna tell you what happens to her or how anything goes on, but she's not one of those characters that where everything gets wrapped, like I told you before, where the storylines start to wrap up at rapid speed and everything. She's not one of them. She actually gets some storylines that get to really take its time and flow. So yeah, she's not one of them.
and we already, I found out that Simone's Lovell died a long time ago. That
Simone's
that
who?
girl that Simone's Lovell,
Oh
um
yes, yes, the actress that played Ray. Yeah,
way
I found out about that recently too. Um I never saw. I mean, that's what's so interesting or whatever was that I even though I was watching during the time that Vincent as the blackmailer killed Ray, I was watching during that time. I don't remember Ray. I don't remember ever seeing her and everything. I don't remember who she was, or the only thing that I just remember them mentioning the murder of Ray and everything, the murder of Ray and everything, and that she was Simone's true love and all that stuff, and that Vincent killed her, and that was all I remember them saying. I did not remember ever seeing the characters, so I just so when I found out she had actually passed away for real, I was like, well, the character is dead, but now the actress is dead too, and I never even knew what Ray looked like because I did not remember seeing the character. So yeah, that was one of those storyline. That was one of those characters I was not that familiar with. I just remembered her mentionings. Man, there is just and we still have such a long way to go till the end. I tell you, we're only in
Mm.
November. We haven't even begun the new year yet. We have so much to get through, and things are just gonna get crazy, crazy, crazy. Casey, you're in for a wild ride.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
glad I got you watching the final season with me, so that even though you know what happens at the final episode, you could see everything that leads up to that.
Mm.
Yeah. So I mean, there's still a number of episodes that, I mean, we can watch as of now, and um, it is official. I'm going to be getting my sleeping medicine on the 23rd. I found that out. It's official. So you and I will have some more episodes to watch until I doze off, and we should get together again within the next few days or something like that, or whatever, and watch some more. I'm gonna be bored till what, after 2 weeks. I mean, the 23rd is the next day I have stuff, so yeah, I have nothing till then. Um, man, that's the fun thing about these podcasts, is that there's so much to discuss and everything, but then where to go to next and everything.
Mm.
That's the real thing. I mean, if um if we had some if we had, some cast members, or even some fellow
Fans.
fellow fans, you know, we'd know what to bring up next.
Yeah.
Don't worry, folks, we're working on it. We're trying very, very hard. We're
Yeah,
gonna
this is my first time doing the podcast,
Mine
actually.
too. Yep, mine too. I've never done a podcast.
So,
I did. I mean, I was. I mean, I was. I mean, I did, not as a video, but as a voice. I did one podcast, like, what, 2 something years ago. At a now ex friend of mine out in Pennsylvania. When I went to her place, she let me use her PlayStation so that I could do another friend of mine's Power Ranger podcast, and I did it was a voice one. Like I said, it was just recorded over the voice or whatever. I just had to put on some headphones and just talk or whatever. And that's the only podcast I ever did, was just one episode of that. I've never done anything else other than that. So this is my first time as well. And so
mm,
here we are, our fourth episode already. It's just and I'm hoping that this continues on. We got a lot to discuss and everything. Like I said, I mean, if we can get some people here, whether it be fellow fans or whether it be actors of the show, this should take off. This should really yeah. I mean, it's not going to be as good as what Passions Live was like, but I mean, unfortunately, we can't take your phone calls. For how badly I wish we could do something like that, like take your phone calls and everything, but or do stick cam, or even, stuff like that. But hey, I'll tell all of you this, or whatever, all of you watching, I will just say this: if you're a fan of Passions already, and if you know the show, and if you like saw it from the beginning to end, or if you came midway through or whatever, but if you like Passions, and by chance, if you want to guest appear on our show, simply leave a comment in the leave a message in the
mm,
comment section below and everything, and just say, hey, I would like to guest appear on your show, and I will comment back, and all you got to do is give me some sort of contact with you, whether it be Instagram, or whether it be Snapchat, or whether it be uh whether it be TikTok, or I unfortunately, as of now, do not have Facebook, so I can't take you out from Facebook as of right now. I'm working on that, but that's another
I
story for
can
another
do.
time.
I got a
Well,
Facebook
yes,
page, so
yes,
yeah.
Casey here, she's got Facebook, but like I said, if you leave your name and a message and some sort of contact down below, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, um, you know what I'm talking about. All those social medias, leave your name and a way to
TikTok.
contact you. And TikTok, exactly. All of those in the comment sections below, and we will reach out to you, and we will try and make an arrangement for you to guest appear, because we are always looking for people who love passions. That is like
Yep.
that's the great thing about our podcast, is that we're always looking for people who love the show and miss it as much as we do, and we just think this is crazy that the show is gone, and we miss it.
Yeah.
We want it back so bad. Okay, yeah, we just please do that by all means. Leave a message in the comment section down below. We'll be expecting you. All you Passions fans out there, we want to hear from you.
See how you like the show.
hmm See how you liked it. See how what you
What's
remember
the
about it.
what's the favorite kill or favorite memory?
Exactly. Absolutely. And I know that we seem a little quiet now, but don't you worry. We're gonna
Mm,
be picking up really soon. We're both new to this whole thing, and we're gonna be picking up really, really, really soon. We're still thinking of plenty of things to discuss, and as I've said, we're trying to get people on here to really have a conversation. Um, I mean, sadly, the show has been off the air for years, so it's not like there's anything new to really look forward to. So we have to look into past tense, unfortunately. We have to speak in
yeah.
past tense and look back instead of forward. Other soap operas that are still going, there's things coming up and everything. So that's actually a lot easier. But Passions has been off for years, and so we unfortunately have to just, and Casey here is trying to catch up with the final season, so
Yeah.
we have to just discuss what we remember and without spoiling it for our co-host here. So
Mm.
so um
Like last week we was talking about if they can recast for the kids, even for little Ethan and Jane and Dora. Well, Dora's probably adult now, probably now by now.
well, yeah, I mean Nicole Cox is all grown up, but I mean it
Yeah.
depends on where they want to start the show. I mean, it's not like they can't start it right where it left off last time. It's not like they can pick it up right from the church when everybody is, you know, how it ended. We can't do that because like we've discussed, Rebecca and Julian are sadly no longer with us, so they can't pick it up there. They would have to pick it up sometime later. But as you were
Yep.
saying, Casey, yeah, I mean, it would all depend on where they decide to do it, and that would depend on how old Endora would be. So, yeah, I mean, where she is right now, being held in hell with Miguel, I think she's maybe about like what 3, maybe little. I don't know. I mean, the kid can't talk; she just has a talk bubble. So I don't know
Mm,
if that's 3 years old or less. I don't know.
probably 3.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tabitha's had her since she was a baby, so yeah. And actually, speaking of Endora talking, I actually remembered this. I only remember it only happening one time, and I just saw it just watching random episodes. I don't even know what episode it was. I wish I could find the episode. It was so cute. I've come to realize that back then Nicole Cox could talk. If she could actually speak. I mean, I don't know how well, but she actually could talk. 'Cause I do remember there was this one episode. I don't know what was going on. um Heidi was K. Well, yeah, I believe Heidi was always K during the Endora time. I'm not sure if Endora was around prior to Heidi playing K. I don't know. I don't know if Deanna Wright was K when Endora was around. I'm not sure, but I believe Heidi was the most. So I know that Heidi came on after Josh Ryan Evans left us, but I don't know when Endora was born. So but it was so incredibly cute, and I so badly wish I could find this episode. There actually was a moment where there was a moment they needed I think they needed some sort of a distraction for Fox or something, and so I think they wanted Endora to pretend like she was upset or whatever to
Mm.
distract Fox or whatever. And I remember Kay going to Endora and like, Endora, sweetie, can you pretend like you're upset, please? And then And then she's like,
Mm,
no, please, no. And Dora acts like,
mm,
no, no. Like that's so cute. I was like, that's the
yeah,
first time I've heard her say a peep without her talk bubble and everything. Like, no.
yeah.
It's so cute. But and then of course you can totally tell that it's not really, it's one of those moments where you can just totally tell that it's fake and everything, is that you can tell that it was not really Nicole Cox or actually Endora doing it, but they cut away from Endora's face to where you just see the back of her head, and all of a sudden you hear this and you can totally tell that's not her. That's just a pre-recorded thing of another of a pre-recorded, scream or whatever that's been done before and everything. That's not Dora. But like I said, just those little no, it's like the first time I ever heard her without her talk bubbles. So I was,
Well, hi, everybody.
look at the kitty. So
That's Hazel,
cute.
my baby.
Aw.
You want to get in the podcast with us? Hello, everybody.
You got your little Fluffy. Lot smaller than the Tabitha's Fluffy.
Fluffy is big, Tabitha's cat. I remember Fluffy always scratched Tammy and
Hmm.
attacked him and stuff. And
And
Tammy like,
and you never even saw the cat. You just know that it's huge because all you can see is its paw or its
oh,
turds in the litter box and all that stuff. I mean, it's just you never even saw the actual cat. It's been a while since we've seen Fluffy. Whatever happened to that cat?
maybe it died.
Well, I think he's still alive. I believe he's still alive. We just haven't seen very much of him for a while. I mean, Tabitha and Kay are like the only two who live in that house that really we see the most of around there. I mean, Endora's in hell, and Timmy is no longer with us, and Fluffy, we don't know where in the hell he is. And actually, it's actually really, really, really interesting because there is actually two characters that were reoccurring characters on the show that I don't know very much about them because I only really saw only a few of their storylines. I mean, when they came on as like really large important characters, I just knew who they were. I didn't really know where they came from or how they're related. But two characters that they didn't even appear on Passions Live, amazingly. I don't know, I understand how, but they didn't. And but a lot of people somehow remembered them, and they're two characters that we have yet to ever talk about, and I'm wondering if any of you remembered them. They haven't appeared yet in this season, but if anybody remembers Nora and Edna, I mean,
Yep.
we have not really talked about them that much because, again, I don't really know who they are. When they appeared, I just knew the characters. I didn't know who they were related to, where they came from. Were they friends of Tabitha's? Were they enemies of Tabitha's? I didn't know what in the world was going on. I just remember these two characters and I found them exquisitely weird.
I think Edna was carrying around her father's skull,
Mm,
and then she was acting like her dad talking
mm,
like a puppet.
mm.
That like freaked me out.
Yeah, I don't know very much about those two characters. I just remember their moments, if you know what I mean. They were definitely dark comedy, if you know what I mean. And I also know that even though I didn't watch the storyline, I know that Edna, I believe it was Edna. Yeah, I believe Edna was the one. Had associations with Precious, the orangutan or whatever, So yeah, so I know that even though I wasn't watching when Precious was on, but yeah,
I did.
yeah, I didn't watch Precious, unfortunately, and it's a good thing too because I don't like monkeys. Monkeys are like my least favorite animal. I find them gross.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Pet monkey. You need to watch out because they can attack you really bad. This
Mm,
one lady had a pet monkey and it messed up her arm really bad.
oof. Yeah,
And
I do not like any kinds of apes, if you know what I mean. They just gross me out. I just don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a problem with the extinct kind, the Gigantopithecus. I find them kind of cool because they're like humongous or whatever. They're extinct now, but I like them. But orangutans and chimpanzees and stuff like that, I just find them gross animals. I don't care for them. So, watch missing out on Precious was, especially if it was going to be a monkey that was going to be romanticizing Louise, I would find that like extremely just ugh. I would not want to care for that. I know Galen
mm,
Gehring misses that monkey, but
yeah.
if they want storylines, they can go hang out with the amazing Michael Jackson. So,
Mm. Which Michael Jackson passed.
mm-hmm. But I mean, oh man, what else is there that we have? I mean, there is just so much with Passions, I tell you. And again, you've been watching it longer than I have, Casey, so you know more than I do. Um, like I said, everybody,
And
don't worry, we'll be perking this up.
Teresa will never give up on Ethan.
She has been pretty much the main female character ever since the beginning. That's something else that no other soap opera has, is a character or a couple that lasts from the beginning to the end. Every soap opera pretty much changes their main couples that they focus on as the show goes on. Passions has been all about Ethan and Teresa from the very beginning.
Yep.
They were the main couple, and it never changed. Other couples were focuses, but no, Ethan and Teresa were the main characters, and no other soap opera has done that. Days of Our Lives doesn't have that. I don't think General Hospital has that, or Young and the Restless. No, they all just, especially not to mention, it seems like not to mention, it seems like with other soap operas, it seems like I mean, I don't know for sure. I really don't. I don't know for sure, but it seems a little bit like the characters that the characters that would they would want to be the main characters like they do with Ethan and Teresa. It's not really that easy to really keep them because a lot of those actors usually want to leave the show, if you know what I mean, and the characters become so well loved they don't want to recast them because they think they are those characters now and they're too well loved that they don't want to recast them. So I mean, look at Days of Our Lives. There was for a good number of years where the character of Sammy, played by Allison Sweeney, she was
Yep.
something of pretty much the main character for a good number of years. I mean, come on, she was Rafe, Galen Gehring, if she was his first love and the one he married and all that stuff. And they're my favorite couple on Days, even though they're not a thing anymore. They're my favorite couple. But um, she was kind of the main character for a while, but I mean Allison Sweeney, she had been around for so many years and she was so well known and everything, and then she decided that she was going to leave the show, so she left and the show is still going, and now she only comes on as guest appearances every once in a while for certain occasions. And so that's the problem with other soap operas. It's really not that simple. Lindsay Hartley kept re-signing every single year. She just kept wanting to come back as Teresa. Okay, Travis left as Ethan, but I don't know. I guess maybe since it was around 2002, again, Casey, during the storyline where Teresa was being executed, I guess it was 2002 and the show had been on since 1999. So I guess since, I don't know, maybe it was a little bit easier. Well, Ethan was too important. He was way, 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 way too important to to um to just get rid of, if you know what I mean, especially where they were. I mean, Teresa needed him, so they couldn't just get rid of the character, and they couldn't have the character just leave, so they had to recast him. And Eric stayed on all the way to the end, and he became the Ethan. So, um, so I guess if you think about it, I think Travis was only on for about from the beginning for about maybe 3.5 years. I mean,
Yeah, that's what
1999,
I'm thinking for
2000,
you.
2001, and then half of 2002. And then, as Eric Martsolf has always put it, for his Eric Martsolf has actually stated it and everything that between Ethan and Brady, he said at least with Passions, well, not with Passions, he said that at least with Days, there was a little bit of a break for it because it was like with Days of Our Lives, it was like the character of Brady started off as Kyle Lauder, and then the character left the show for a number of years. He left for a number of years, and then when he returned, he was Eric. But with Passions, it was like one day they have Travis, and then the very, very, very next day they get this guy. They have Eric appear out of nowhere. So at least with
Mm.
Days, there was a time gap and everything for the character to come back as a new actor. But Passions just kind of switched actors overnight. So, well, you know
Mm.
what I mean? Just like, yeah, it was like one day you see Travis and the next day you see Eric. So I personally don't care. I like it whenever there's a recast, whenever a new actor just pops up as the character. I kind of like that. But but um so yeah, Travis was only there for, but like I was trying to say or whatever. I guess because
For
the show
3 years.
was that.
He was ill for like 3 years or so, I think.
Yeah, 3.5 years, I would want to say. I mean, 1999, 2000, 2001, and then
So,
I forget what month it was in 2002, but somewhere right in the middle of 2002, Eric came on. I can't remember what month it was. So,
I think I think it was July or August.
yeah, I think you're right around one of those two
'Cause
months. Sure. Yeah, I
I
think that
was
sounds
I think I was going into ninth grade. I was going to high school then when
about right. Yeah.
yeah, I was still in high school then.
Yeah, I was still in high school during when I started watching Passions too. I would come home and I would have it recorded on my DVR so I could watch it when I got home. Never missed an episode after I started watching it.
Me
Um,
either.
like I told you, my father used to record them on from online when it moved to DirecTV, but that was about it. Um, but but as I was trying to say about with main characters and everything, it's just other soap operas don't do that. Passions has been the only soap opera to actually have a main character or main couple from the very, very first episode all the way to the end. And the characters never left, even briefly. They never left briefly. They were on every
Mm.
single episode. Well, not every single episode, but you know, like every single season.
Yeah,
They may have had some recasts or something like that. Like again, I mean, obviously, um, 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 Eric Martsolf took over as Ethan from Travis, and Lindsay Hartley got pregnant and went into maternity leave, so she had to leave temporarily and was recast. And Eric Martsolf's wife went into labor, so he had to be temporarily replaced. I believe the actor's name was Rib Hillis or something temporarily, but it was very brief for both of them. But then both Lindsay and Eric came back, and they were on to the end. They're the only couple like that it's been like that. I mean, like I said, they're. They other soap operas have had main characters briefly, but not like from beginning to end like that. You know, they're the
yeah.
main couples for they're the main couples for a short time, and then they say now we're gonna start focusing on these characters for a time and let them be main characters and all that stuff. And like I said, Sammy was kind of a main character for a while, and back when John and Marlena were a huge thing. They were like a main couple for a while, but then they left the show for a time, and now obviously, as you all know, John is Drake is no longer with us, but Deidre Hall as Marlena is still with us, is still on the show with us and everything, and doing great. I've met her about uh, 3 times, 4 times, 4 times I've met her, something like that. I've lost track. I think it might have been 3 times, I think, but I'm just adding an extra in there just to be safe. But they were main characters for a time, but then I believe they left the show and somebody else took over as the main characters and stuff like that. But Passions never had that. It was always Ethan and Teresa. they were never replaced as the main characters. The story was basically Passions was in a way kind of the Ethan and Teresa story. So if you don't have them, there
Yeah.
was no Passions.
Nope.
Yeah. And no, you're right. She doesn't give up on Ethan, and she never did. I mean, she started off as an obsessed teenager, and now here she is an adult, and she's got him, but she's got to try and keep him. So, I mean, and that's the thing. Who would have thought that, she actually would have actually gotten him, period? That's something, that it just doesn't come along that often. That when you meet a character that is after somebody so desperately and everything, usually they end up doing, you know, take Days of Our Lives for an example. A lot of the characters that if they want a man or if they want a woman very, very badly, they do very, very, very bad things. And in the end, they don't get the character, they don't get the person. Whereas Teresa, she wanted Ethan really, really bad. And in the end, she did get him. But now the whole thing is about just keeping him. That's the whole problem because of Gwen.
Yeah, they do like sleep with them, trying to get pregnant by them. They think they will have them and they get pregnant and have their kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of the um and pretty much every time when it comes to Teresa, it was all mutual. It wasn't like she raped Ethan or anything like that, the way that Kay did with Miguel or anything like that. I mean, everything with Teresa was mutual. Everything that she did with them, um, it was all consensual. And aside from, I don't know if it was Tabitha or if it was Vincent as the blackmailer, because when Vincent was the blackmailer, he was able to do some pretty interesting things. I don't know how he did it or whatever, but I mean, it's not like it was actual magic, but he was able to do similar magical things. So I don't know if it was Tabitha or if it was Vincent as the blackmailer. I don't remember, but there was that one time to where somehow Ethan was put under some kind of some sort of hypnotizing
True.
spell like
Yeah.
thing, or I don't know what it was or whatever. And he ended up in bed with Teresa when he was trying to be devoted to Gwen and all that. And then when he snapped out of it, he's like, whoa, 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 how in the hell did I get here? And that was back when Teresa was engaged to Jared, if anybody remembers Jared.
I remember Jared.
Yeah, he's another character that, he was kind of forgotten about after he left. After he left the show, people kind of forgot about him because he was never mentioned again. And in the beginning, I'm going to be honest with you, probably going to call me crazy, Casey, but in the beginning, I actually wanted Teresa to be with Jared. Originally, I preferred Jared over Ethan. It wasn't until after Jared left, when Jared left the show, that was when I started to really fall on Ethan and everything and stuff like that, and be like, it's kind of like what my ex-girlfriend Teal, who was watching with me at the time, I told her she's going after Ethan, but I want her with Jared. And then my ex-girlfriend Teal was like, I want Teresa to be happy. So if she wants Ethan, then that's who she should be with. And so, well, in the end, I started rooting for Ethan. It wasn't until Jared left the show. So Jared was another one of those characters that was kind of just there and was one of Teresa's love interest. She got engaged to him, and then once he left, they never mentioned him ever again. Well, I think they did. They mentioned him for like a split minute or something when they were getting ready for Luis's execution, and Teresa was served the signed divorce papers, and Teresa realized that Jared had signed the divorce papers, and that meant that she was divorced. She was divorced. He was mentioned for like that brief minute, but other than that, he was never mentioned again. Other than that, so um, and he was somebody else who actually knew about he was another character just like Gwen and Rebecca and all them, who actually knew about little Ethan being Ethan's son.
Ethan's son.
Yeah, he actually knew. Um so yeah. um like you were talking about or whatever of everything Teresa did, yeah, and it was pretty much all consensual and everything. It wasn't like it was rape or anything, like Kay did.
Like my cat's on my lap again.
Aw.
Hey, so
Man, I miss this show so much, I tell you. Ugh. I just
I do too. Since they took Passions off of NBC, I was mad. I was upset.
like I said, I was afraid. I was like, "Oh my God, oh my God." I was like I was like I wasn't mad. I was scared. Like, how am I gonna do this? And then my father said, "I can download the episodes online for you if you'd like." And I was like, "Okay, do that." And so he did. He would get like 3 or 4 episodes the way that it aired every week, as I might have told you before, because again, the Passions storylines kind of started wrapping up at a rapid speed come one point when it was approaching the end. Things just started wrapping up very, very, very quickly. Well, not only did that happen, but it also started um it also started getting lesser days. It actually started airing lesser days. When it first moved to DirecTV, I believe it started off with 4 days, but then sometime later things happened to where they cut it down to only 3 days that it would air. I don't think they moved it down to 2 days. I think um I have to look it up of how it went after that, but I remember it started off with only 4 days a week when it moved to DirecTV, and then they cut it down to 3 days, and I don't know if they went any lower than that, but um even my own father was basically saying, "Joe, that show's getting canceled. You just watch. Look at it. Look at how they're cutting down the days. That show's gonna get canceled." And in the end, he was right. It did. It
Did
announced that it was ending and that the series finale and that it was over. And so, luckily, it got an ending though. At least it didn't just end on a cliffhanger. Thank God. And that was back before I knew anything about soap operas. I mean, when people started spreading rumors that it was gonna get canceled, I was like, they wouldn't just leave a show without an ending, seriously. And they're like, dude, it happens all the time. I didn't know that. I had never seen a show that ended on a cliffhanger in my life. Never. Um, I'm not entirely sure what the first one was, but now I've seen quite a few. I've seen a few shows that have ended on cliffhangers. I hate those. But I can't remember what the first one was that I ever saw that ended without an ending. I'm just glad that Passions actually got
I
one.
like when they all get together and had like a musical. Everyone was singing.
Mm-hmm. The
Yeah,
ending.
at the end.
That always makes me cry when I watch that. I just break out into tears. I'm like, it was the first soap opera that I ever got into, and already they take it from me.
Mm.
And now here I am on days. Every once in a while, I'll watch Young and the Restless. I've kind of missed out on General Hospital because it's on cable, and we can't currently pay for our DVR and stuff like that. But for on our DVR, but um we just so I haven't really been able to watch it. But whenever I hear about something interesting happening on General Hospital, I've got a friend who has the episodes. I think that she puts onto a drive or something like that, and she'll let me have it so that I can see what's happening. I mean, um, yeah. So, but like I said, I mean, when they took Passions to DirecTV, my father was able to get the final season for me on DVD, and I've got them. I got the whole final season in a little case over here, I believe. So, and those are pretty good quality because, like I said, they were from when they aired. It's not like what's on YouTube right now. Those are not the best quality, but it's probably the best you're gonna get. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, but Days of Our Lives is my current soap opera now ever since Passions and I only started
Now
watching.
I can watch it on Peacock now, but it's only 2 seasons on there.
Yeah, but that's actually all right though because like I told you before, I've got a friend of mine who has episodes going back to years ago. If there's ever a storyline that you want to see, like I said, I've got my friend who has episodes going way back. I mean, no, not all the way back to the beginning, but just years and years ago, like many years ago. Like, holy crap, I forget how many years ago. Because you got to remember, Days was on longer than Passions. It was on while Passions was going. But but um but that's all right. There's only 2 seasons. If there's any storyline that you want to see, just tell me and I'll tell my friend, and I'm sure she'll tell me what year that was and where it started, and I can give you a link, and she has it on a drive and stuff like that. But the only reason I started watching that was because Galen and Eric were joining. If they weren't joining, I don't know if I would be watching soaps.
Yeah, they will. I seen them on you on they was doing previews on Peacock. I saw them on you.
Yep, they're the reason I started watching, and then Lindsay joined them later until she was killed off by a car. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yep. So if they weren't on there, I wouldn't be watching that. I don't know if I would still be watching soap operas had they not joined. Um, it's just such a real shame and everything that Passions is just one of those is just a soap or whatever that was so beautiful and just so good and so different from all of its other predecessor soap operas, but it's
It's
hardly
too
remembered.
so entertaining and
Mm,
awesome and cool, and
yeah, you got the
I
right
love about
words.
Passions. I love it when they fight, act like they fighting, but they're really not.
Yeah.
Punching each other.
Oh, well, lots of soaps have their fights. So, but
Yeah.
Passions just there was just something about Passions. It was very, very, very different. And I kind of feel bad that I started as late as I did. I'm
I
wishing I had
know.
started earlier. I mean, now I could
I
always see
mean,
them whenever because they're all on YouTube, but still.
and then I remember uh, my mom used to hate Passions because of witchcraft in it. She's like, "Why are you watching that,
Yeah.
Mom? I'm not into the witchcraft part. I'm into the other part, the loving part, the romantic scenes."
That's my kind of thing too. That's why I like soap operas to begin with. Whenever there's a couple that should be together but they're not, and I just get bored, like put them together already. I want to see the romance.
Mm.
That's my thing. That's what I go for as well. I know how I feel. That's why I like my soaps.
My name, my mom got Casey from Guiding Light
Yes, I believe you mentioned
as
something about that.
Casey.
That's another one that I mean, I'm kind of wishing I had watched it back when it was on. I think that Michelle and Danny were adorable. I've seen clips of them on YouTube and everything, and I'm like, they look really, really, really cute, Michelle and Danny. On Guiding Light, yeah. Um,
So that's where I got my name from.
nice.
Well, I was going to be Samantha, but my mom changed it
Mm,
to
cute,
Casey. So I
cute.
remember that. My mom used to told me that.
Yeah, it's interesting. You get your name from a soap opera.
Mm.
Yeah, so I mean, all we can really do, all we can really do is just, we got to keep protesting and everything to those studios and everything. Like I said, it's just a shame or whatever that it's been so forgotten about. You really don't see it anywhere. If you know, I mean, other soap operas, I'll see references here and there, like maybe like in a magazine or something like that. I'll see a reference, like, do you remember this soap opera? Or do you remember this actor who used to star on this soap opera and is famous for this soap opera? Passion's just you don't really see it in like anywhere anymore. I mean, Josh
No.
Ryan Evans, um, whenever people talk about him when he was in The Grinch, they all say, "Who would have thought the little guy from Passions would look so good in green or something, something like that." But um, and I know that Adrian Bellani, again, he doesn't go by that name anymore, the second Miguel, since he's married to Once Upon a Time's Jennifer Morrison, Emma Swan, whenever people reference that her husband, that he was the ex-Passions actor, that's how they say about him and stuff like that. But that's whenever people think about these actors, they think about them from Passions. But the soap itself is not really, you know, you got to miss that stuff. I'm like, come on, they got to have some sort of memories besides YouTube. They got to have some sort of way to like help bring back the memories, you know.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? That's all the time we have here, people. Yep, that's all the time we have. The old clock on the wall has told us that another Passions Supernatural podcast time has gone by. It's all the time we have left. So I want to thank you, Passions fans, for watching during our last 4 weekends, and thank you, Casey, for sticking with my
You're
annoying
welcome.
ass.
You're
Yes,
welcome for having me.
I hope you're still having fun. Now, I'd like to remind everyone I actually did touch base with not one, but 2 Passions actors whom have expressed interest in attending one of our shows. I have actually heard from Danny Woodburn, who played the evil demon elf. You all remember him, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. He said for me to reach out to him in October, as he is currently right now in London filming something. And I also heard back from Dylan Fergus, who played my second favorite character, Noah Bennett. He pretty much said the same thing for me to reach out to him in October, as this month he's pretty swamped at the moment. So, but everyone, we may be getting some Passions actors on the show sooner than we thought. 2, I just got to just
Can't wait.
Yeah, me neither. I just got to touch
I'm
base.
so excited.
Yep. So please don't miss out. But until then, just don't miss out and tune in next Sunday as Casey and I discuss more Passions. If you like our show, please like and hit that subscribe button. And as I said before, if you're interested in being a part, like guest appearing on the show or whatever, if you liked Passions back when it did and you still like it today, please put a little note in the comment section below with your name, a way we can get in touch with you, and we will see if we can make that a possibility. We'd really appreciate it. And don't miss Passions Supernatural Podcast, Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on YouTube. Thank you, Casey.
You're welcome.
And thank you, fans. And remember, you are our Passions for life. Thank you, guys. All right. All right, that's it. We're moving on.
Have a great night, everyone.
Everybody, yes, indeed. Have a good one. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Kiss the lips of the